How did it feel watching our boy Lefty Gunplay get turned away as he tried to go on stage with Kendrick Lamar at the tour with SZA?
That's not on Lefty Gunplay. It's not on Lefty. That's not on Kendrick.
Who's it on?
The management. Lefty's management.
Right.
I know Kendrick's people. No way if management would have contacted them to say, yo, could Lefty be on there on stage and say his part, they would have denied him that.
You don't think?
Nah.
Okay, from my perspective, for sure his team reached out prior to that and said Lefty would like to come on stage with him. Because notably, nobody who was on the album who was from California, aside from AZ Chike, graced the stage with them.
Well, let me tell you something. First of all, let's establish one thing. Kendrick did what he was supposed to do at the pop-out show. Y'all not gonna prostitute the homie every time he on stage. Motherfuckers there to see Kendrick. So he already put his work in what he's supposed to do from cats at the pop-out show.
I think it's fine. Right? Honestly, I don't think it's it's not his responsibility to bring all these people on stage.
Secondly, I believe Kendrick was there 3 dates.
Was it only 3? I thought it was more.
I think 3, 4, might have been more, but I know 3 for sure. If Lefty's management would have reached out to his management to get him up there on one of them dates, they would have worked with him.
Lefty, I believe, has claimed that he has Kendrick's number.
That ain't got nothing to do. Kendrick already got enough to worry about.
I'm saying if you want to be on stage, you have to reach out to Kendrick via text and say, hey, can I come on stage with you tonight?
Let management do their job.
Or have management use that phone number, or reach out to TDE. You can reach. There's so many professional ways that you could have handled this. When I see Lefty trying to storm the stage, to me, I see someone who has struck out with every other avenue that he tried to use in order to get this idea done. And as a result, he was trying to...
You ain't gonna storm the stage.
He was trying to enter through the crowd. Obviously, the security, even if they recognize you, even if they fuck with you, the security is not in a position to say, sure, come on stage.
No, they ain't gonna let you.
They are not allowed to make that decision.
They'll be fired.
Yeah.
But I really think that management should have did their job. If they'd have reached out to Top Dog or even somebody on K-Doc's direct management for one of those dates, I believe they would have made it happen.
And I do think that they probably reached out, and I feel like they were probably turned down.
Nah, I don't believe, Nah, they wouldn't have did that.
Then why would Lefty just show up and try to storm the stage? It doesn't make any sense.
He showed up because he's a Kendrick fan.
Right, well, he paid to get into the show, presumably.
That's another thing. If he had reached out to management for some, that's what I'm telling you, bro. Sometimes some of these managers, bro, they pride and their ego be in the way. You got to erase all that when it comes to your artist and your client.
If your management's idea for how you're going to get on stage with Kendrick Lamar is to just try to walk onto the stage from the crowd, then your management needs to be replaced.
No,
that is obviously not how this is going to work.
They should have reached out to management. They would have provided tickets, probably some VIP passes, and probably gave him action. If not to say all 3 dates, but at least one of the dates, they probably would have let him get out at the end of that song and do his little words.
To me, it seems pretty obvious that they didn't want him on stage.
That's not obvious. I believe that they didn't reach out to Kendrick's team.
That would be a level of ineptitude that is almost impossible to fathom. If you're a manager and your client wants to get on stage to perform this song and you don't try to use a phone to text them or call them,
I challenge them to show us
I mean, there's no way that his team is that unprofessional.
A lot of people got homeboy management, bro.
But OTR are not that much of like homeboy management. You know, they seem like they probably have at least some clue of how to get shit done.
A lot of people got homeboy management. I'm just being real, bro. And sometimes when you can't get through one way, you got to go through another way. And that takes skills and time and relationship.
That's what I think happened. They tried to get through the official way. You know, Lefty, obviously he wanted to be backstage. He wanted to be hanging out. To be fair, I don't think I saw anybody hanging out backstage.
Kendrick don't run that type of show.
I didn't see anybody who posted photos like hanging out backstage with the TD.
No, he don't run that type
Maybe
of show.
Maybe a little bit, but if it was just
only thing back here is the immediate people. That's it. You know, SZA there on deck too. Top Dog ain't playing that shit. Kendrick ain't into all that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep their ship the way it is.
People who saw the show told me that there was pyrotechnics and there's dancers and that it was probably considered a liability to let this random meth head come on stage.
Well, I'm not going to call him a meth head.
Well, that's the least controversial thing that we're ever going to say
How
about
did
him.
the album do?
I think when I did the calculations, I ended up with a number that was around like 1,100 to 1,200 copies, which
doubled last time.
To be fair, yeah, approximately doubled what he sold the first time, the last album that came out at the same time as GNX.
Yeah, doubled the last time. Last time it was like 400, 500 something.
Yeah, so step in the right direction.
And I keep hearing people saying, I think I heard Viral Way say, well, Lefty's this Lefty's second album. Lefty dropped the same day Kendrick dropped. So Lefty been dropping his music. I don't know what his team's over there doing because we don't never know it's really coming the way it's supposed to know it's coming.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like, it feels like he makes music and then he wants to put it out and they just put it out and there's not a lot of support.
Yo, listen, I don't know who's the people over there.
OTR.
OTR, holla at T-Money, man. Next time y'all finna do something on Lefty, reach out to me, man. I'll give y'all the cheat code, man.
So, okay, the other Lefty news is that he was supposed to go on tour with Shoreline Mafia and Santa Fe Clan, I believe is the other group. And he was removed from the tour and replaced with Peso and Bravo the Bag Chaser.
Shout out Bravo the Bag Chaser.
Shout out Peso as well. And Peso, whose team is now buying promo for his music using the clip of Lena the Plug dancing to his song where he shouted her out.
That's good shit. But I think Lefty claimed responsibility for that. I seen him on a pod where he said, "I be messing up. I'm uncontrollable."
Right. I mean, it feels like they tried to give him an opportunity with that tour. It would have definitely been the biggest tour that he's been on so far, and he lost out on the opportunity because they think he's a little bit too much of a wild card. He got arrested for smoking meth in Texas. He got arrested at Rolling Loud for some sort of gun case, and just seems like he's kind of landing himself in wacky
He didn't have
headlines.
a gun at Rolling Loud, did he?
No, I think he had a gun case from his neighborhood from a previous period of
so
time.
they served a warrant for him.
They went and picked him up at Rolling Loud. He wasn't able to perform.
Yeah, so that's
Really robbed us from what would presumably have been some pretty viral footage if he had taken the stage.
Yeah.
It would have been funny.
Hey, yo, listen, man. Lefty is trying to change his tune. I know we've been trolling him, right? But, he's dropped the Gunplay.
It's right here.
I just think he did.
Okay, also, he didn't drop the Gunplay.
I thought he did.
He still left the Gunplay on YouTube, Amazon, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. Like, he said he was going to drop it, and he didn't drop it. He didn't remove it anywhere. From what I could tell.
Maybe he might lose his channel or his numbers.
I do think that probably there's a bunch of logistical shit that you would have to get
remember,
to.
even Kanye, he was trying to get his thing to just say yay.
Right, and even on Twitter, he's not yay. He's Kanye West.
He's Kanye West. It's still there. So, and I'm pretty sure he tempted, but you probably lose them numbers.
Well, even just getting the Instagram handle, you're probably not going to get Lefty. You should probably be thankful to have Lefty Gunplay or whatever. It also kind of occurs to me that it feels weird talking about the Lefty Gunplay thing because at first he was so viral. Now we talk about it and it's like I look at the numbers and they don't really seem like anybody cares.
Well, we knew that back when he started getting a little ahead of himself.
Yeah.
When he told you 10 grand, I think a lot of these new artists don't know. You get that quick boost because people are talking about you and catering to you, but until you're really solidified, you can't stand on that like that.
No, yeah.
And what we said would happen, happened.
Yeah, really.
But I think he's feeling it. But I mean, listen, he's still fighting, man. He's swinging. I can respect that. He's still swinging. And I trolled him. I got pulled into that. You started that.
And that's how I feel too, is that I didn't want beef with Lefty. Lefty, feeling himself, fresh out on the scene, decided that he wanted smoke with the 22-ster and the Rooster.
Yeah, he went
and as a result, we've really been running as much content about him as possible since then, really highlighting every time something goes bad for him in his career. And then he sits back and he feels like the victim when he very much chose this path.
He started. So now that I know he's kind of like, he in the mud, I'm gonna let him be. Listen, Lefty, I'm gonna let you be, bro. I just talked about you on Vlad in a positive way. We talking about the numbers. You dropped the album. People want to know. Keep promoting, keep pushing the album. Next time you got something going on, how your team reach out, man, and maybe I could sit at the table and give y'all some pointers on what you doing, what you not doing, or maybe a few connects, you know what I mean, to kind of like get you some better positioning.
It feels like even given how obvious it is that he needs some help in his career, that I don't really think that he's going to be humble enough to realize that and to maybe come to us and say, hey, I was acting like a dick. He's just got his head is way too far up his ass. He's not going to know that he fell off until it is unbelievably obvious.